It was Chad Olinger who first noticed it. While diving in one of the smaller caverns during a routine scan, he detected a soft but persistent current pulling westward against the walls. It wasn't normal, Chad explained to the Discovery cameras. Water doesn't just drift like that unless something's moving it. There's a passage, something feeding or drawing water. And it's man-made. I'm sure of it. The team immediately sent in their sonar equipment, mapping out a partial tube-like structure beneath a rockfall. When the data came back, jaws dropped. The tunnel extended farther than they could reach, snaking through solid rock beneath layers of ancient sediment. This wasn't a cave formed by nature. Someone had carved it, with purpose, and now they would try to go in. Engineering the impossible. Building the Tunnel Planning underwater tunnel exploration beneath Blind Frog Ranch is unlike anything the team has tackled before. The first obstacle is pressure. The deeper the tunnel goes, the greater the risk of collapse. And then there's the limited visibility, potential toxic gases, and the ever-present fear of getting trapped beneath tons of earth. Dwayne, ever the risk-taker, held a meeting with his core team inside the ranch's main operations trailer. We don't have the luxury of a Navy submarine or federal dive team, he said. But we've got grit. We've got expertise. And we've got enough history staring us in the face to know this could be the break we've been waiting for. Chad began mapping out a phase plan. Stage 1. Re-access. Remove rockfall blocking the tunnel mouth using controlled airbag detonations, and reinforce the entrance with steel rebar and custom pressure-grade plexiglass. Stage 2. Drone survey. Deploy a high-resolution underwater ROV, remotely operated vehicle, outfitted with 4K cameras, sonar, and heat sensors to map the first 300 feet. Stage 3. Diver entry. If stable, certified technical divers would begin short, timed entry into the tunnel with backup oxygen, comms, and lifeline reels. Stage 4. Artifact recovery. If anything man-made or historically significant is found, a specialized artifact recovery mission will be greenlit. But all this is contingent on one major factor: survivability. High risk, high reward. There's a reason underwater tunnels are the stuff of legend and not common archaeology. The risks are immense. Not only does the team fear collapses and blackouts, but this region is also prone to seismic tremors, unpredictable and violent shifts that have derailed previous digs. Dr. Eric Drummond, the team's geologist and technical advisor, issued a stark warning during one of the planning sessions. "We are not just dealing with geology here," he said. "We're dealing with history that doesn't want to be disturbed." The strata shows anomalies, collapsed pockets of methane gas, sudden changes in mineral density, and areas that react to electromagnetic disturbances. This tunnel, it's old, and it's not just carved with tools. It's engineered. That word stuck with the team, engineered. Who, hundreds of years ago, would have had the technology to build something like this? Spanish conquistadors? Indigenous tribes with lost knowledge? Or perhaps, as some speculate, something far older and far more mysterious? Superstition meets science. There's no denying the supernatural lore that surrounds Blind Frog Ranch. Locals still speak in hushed tones about skinwalkers, spirits, and cursed gold hidden in the earth. While the team sticks to science, even hardened men like Dwayne can't shake the eerie feeling when they step near the tunnel entrance. "It hums," said Chad. "I can't explain it. When I get close, my skin tingles and my ears pop. It's like the tunnel's alive." To counter potential dangers, the team brought in a spiritual consultant, a Navajo historian named Elsie Yazzie, who cautioned the crew about what she called old doors meant to stay shut. "Water is memory," she said cryptically. and tunnels underwater, their passageways, not always meant for men. Despite the warning, the exploration continued. After all, this is Discovery Channel, and the audience is eager for answers. The tech, custom gear for a custom Mysterito, breached the tunnel safely. Duane invested in a $75,000 submersible drone from Norway, equipped with LiDAR capabilities, sonar mapping, and a titanium-reinforced casing. Nicknamed Raptor, the drone is the best shot at getting eyes deep into the tunnel before any human sets foot, or fin, inside. The Raptor was programmed to scan in real time and feed data to a mobile lab set up beside the cavern. Once in, it would hover, scan, and send signals about structural stability, temperature shifts, and any sign of human-built walls or chambers. As they lowered the Raptor into the dark water, the whole team stood by in tense silence. And then, it vanished. No signal. No return. Unexpected complications. "We've lost it." The Raptor's disappearance sent $75,000 drone simply gone. But more than the financial loss, it was the implications. Something inside that tunnel either jammed the signal, swallowed the drone, or worse. "We're not just poking at history," Duane said, his jaw tight. "We might be waking it up." Dr. Drummond rushed to the sonar system, hoping to reacquire a signal. Moments later, a new reading appeared. A metallic echo 320 feet into the tunnel. It wasn't the Raptor. It was something else. Cylindrical. Roughly the size of a small boat. Resting. Silent. And nearby, traces of gold. Rewriting the mission, the objective shifted rapidly. With the tunnel proving far larger than anticipated, the planning team reconvened to discuss alternatives. The new plan? A full dry chamber insertion. Using inflatable pressurized bladders and custom pumps, the idea was to drain part of the tunnel and create an artificial air pocket for human entry. It was risky. One miscalculation, and the entire chamber could flood instantly. But if successful, it would allow Duane and Chad to walk, through a tunnel no one has entered in hundreds, possibly thousands of years. A legacy of secret SWAT lies in the tunnel? No one knows. But the presence of gold traces, a foreign metallic object, and the continued electromagnetic interference all point to something monumental. Season 5 of Mystery at Blind Frog Ranch is shaping up to be the most intense yet, as the team throws everything they have at solving the riddle of the underwater tunnel. The stakes have never been higher, and the risk never more real. As Duane said in a final moment to the camera, "This isn't just a tunnel. It's a story someone buried a long time ago. And we're gonna find out why." During a routine sonar scan in the lower caverns, Chad Ollinger and the team noticed a faint but distinct current flowing westward, deep under the ranch. It didn't make sense, Chad told the camera crew. "There's no river feeding this direction underground. This water is moving, being pulled or pushed. That's not natural down here." Further exploration with side-scan sonar revealed something astonishing. A long, narrow anomaly stretching out beneath a collapsed cave wall. It wasn't shaped like a natural fissure. It was symmetrical, like a pipeline or an engineered corridor, a tunnel. Duane Ollinger, patriarch and fearless leader of the operation, stood in front of the monitor in stunned silence. "If this is what we think it is, we're staring at a purpose-built underwater tunnel. That changes everything. Step 1. Assembling the dream team. Exploring an underwater tunnel in a volatile geological area is no weekend adventure. It requires a coordinated plan, the right team, specialized equipment, and most importantly, a solid understanding of the risks involved." Duane called in experts from around the country: geologists, cave diving specialists, structural engineers, and even ex-Navy divers were flown in for initial assessments. The base camp buzzed with activity as diagrams, 3D sonar readouts, and historical maps were pinned to the walls. Dr. Eric Drummond, longtime geologist on the show, emphasized the danger. "We're talking about an unstable underground environment, likely carved through limestone and sandstone. One bad tremor or pocket collapse, and we could lose someone, or seal them in forever." Chad, ever the daredevil, was the first to volunteer to enter. But Duane insisted on following protocol. "We're not sending anyone in until we know it won't become their tomb." Phase I. Opening the mouth of the tunnel. The entrance to the tunnel was partially blocked by a debris field from a previous cave-in. The first phase of the operation required carefully removing tons of rock without destabilizing the structure above. Using inflatable airbags and low-impact drills, the team began the painstaking task of clearing a small portion of the tunnel mouth. It took 5 days and multiple failed attempts before they finally exposed a clean entrance, a black, water-filled corridor that seemed to stretch into oblivion. "You could feel it," said technician Charlie Simmons. "The cold coming off that water wasn't normal. It was ancient. It's like it had never seen light." Cameras were lowered into the opening, but visibility dropped to 0 within feet. The next step was clear. They needed eyes inside. Phase I. Deploying the ROV team brought in a $100,000 state-of-the-art remotely operated vehicle, ROV, designed for deepwater cave exploration. Outfitted with sonar, LiDAR, thermal imaging, and a mechanical arm for collecting samples, the ROV was their best shot at mapping the tunnel without risking a human life. They named the drone Kraken. As Kraken descended into the black water, the room grew quiet. Everyone watched the monitor as the vehicle pushed forward, its lights piercing through silt and darkness. After 20 feet, the tunnel began to slope downward at a gentle angle, carved with strange, almost deliberate grooves along the walls.